Degen and I'm Professor of Urban Studies at Brunel University, London.
Hi, I'm Guijarro. I'm going to do this presentation and this talk with Mónica in my first language, that is Spanish, but we are going to put a very nice closed captions in the fragments that I speak in Spanish. I am a PhD in social and cultural anthropology by the University of Barcelona, and currently I'm working in the Barcelona City Council in social services area.
The aim of the chapter was to explore the relationship between urban aesthetics, power, and increased intensified digital mediation of cities. So, against the background of the aesthetic economy, we identify in this chapter the conscious staging of sensory experiences, in particular convivial experiences in public spaces. And we argue that it's become a valuable currency to represent, promote, brand and sell cities on the global catwalk. So this is very much based, this argument we have, in that we experience urban spaces first and foremost through our sensory embodiment, but also through the mediations we come across in our lives, from films to books to social media. And both of these, the sensory and these urban imaginaries, shape how we feel, behave and interact in places. Just think about how you want to experience romance in Paris, for example. And we highlight why it is important to pay attention in contemporary cities to the branding of urban aesthetics, or in other words, of sensory embodied experiences, as they're used to shape to the urban imaginaries and are filled with aesthetic power dynamics of who and what should be experienced or not, who's visible or invisible in the branding and design of the city. And we analyzed two particular urban place branding campaigns, the Culture Mile in the financial city of London, and you can see here an example where the branding happened before the actual redevelopment in the area, with a series of events and social media events in the public spaces that really emphasize the sensory engagements you can have when you use the Culture Mile. This is the example of a piece of art where you had to walk around the Culture Mile and take photos of the art piece to understand what it actually meant. We really show here how it is these Instagrammable moments that are the precursors to the urban redevelopment of the area. And Bea will talk about the Barcelona example.
Sí, nosotros en el libro utilizamos dos campañas de Barcelona para hablar de cómo hemos visto que se ha implementado un poco este giro de pasar también de mostrar las ciudades para que sean más atractivas, principalmente o en años anteriores al turismo, como podíamos encontrar una Barcelona donde se mostraba pues su patrimonio histórico, aunque lo que podían ser incluso clichés culinarios o principalmente esta figura, ¿no? que ha sido tan extendida y tan repetida, que es la figura de Gaudí, su arquitectura, etc. Y lo que hemos visto es un giro de esta ciudad un poco más monumental patrimonio, que podía así atraer a un tipo de turismo de ocio, digamos, tradicionalmente, donde digamos la ciudad se ha esforzado muchísimo por atraer este tipo de turismo desde los Juegos Olímpicos del 92, a otro tipo de campaña de branding que incluye estos micromomentos. Estaríamos hablando de campañas que ya no son, o sea, son momentos, no monumentos, pero unos micromomentos íntimos casi, donde en muchos casos existe y hemos visto esta vinculación entre el place, las sensations, y que es un poco más un crisol más multidimensional, que nos enseñan casi lo que serían momentos absolutamente íntimos de la ciudad, más de una panorámica, digamos, hecha con un gran angular. Ahora vemos unas cosas mucho más macro, mucho más micro en estas campañas de branding. también hacer un apunte que ya lo ha comentado antes Mónica, pero que sí que es verdad que estas campañas ya no están centradas en el turismo de ocio, sino que en estos tipos de campañas de branding ya vemos que están dirigidas a digamos, más perfiles, están dirigidas pues a trabajadores que pueden trabajar en remoto, por ejemplo, y sobre todo hacer más atractiva la ciudad para lo que podrían ser inversiones y a reposicionar, digamos, no a caer en el monocultivo del turismo de ocio, sino hacer campañas de branding que puedan funcionar para diversos tipos de perfiles y ser lo más amplias posibles.
And as Bea explains, and we can see in this example, is that branding as a technology of perception constructs both in the city and online expectations of these moments of sensory conviviality, these atmospheres that are created by living, perceiving, engaging sensorially with the city. And urban aesthetics as sensory experiences, drawing on Rancière, Böhme, and other phenomenological approaches. We're particularly interested in the power relations working through these sensory regimes. And we're also interested in seeing how they're resisted and challenged by other kind of fields of perception. So in our view, urban aesthetics has become an ever more crucial concept to make sense of the contemporary city. And that has many reasons, but the key reasons are, the rise of the aesthetic economy, that, cities are competing with each other through the experiential realm, but also the ubiquity of digital technologies in our daily lives that, even accentuate and intensify this process even more. As Gillian Rose and I have argued in our book, The New Urban Aesthetic, digital data, software, digital platforms, and our phones that we constantly hold in our hand increasingly mediate how our cities are being sensed and being perceived, and reconfiguring deeply how we experience, judge, use, and live in cities. And the urban aesthetics, as we show in this chapter, as the Barcelona example shows, and the Culture Mile example in London shows, really underpins the power relations that are framing cities through urban aesthetics, through how we experience them, and who gets to actually be visible, invisible, seen, unseen in these kind of urban imaginaries.